For years, we've been hearing the same familiar lines from Apple's stage. Tim Cook steps out, smiles at the crowd, and proclaims that these are the most powerful and most advanced iPhones that Apple has ever built, wrapped in a stunning new design. He repeats the most so many times that it's almost become a ritual, a chant that comes with every new generation. But let's be honest here. While the iPhone used to be truly groundbreaking, things have changed. Somewhere after the iPhone 12, the real sense of innovation seemed to fade. The design stopped evolving in meaningful ways. The features stopped feeling revolutionary, and the price tags kept creeping up year after year. What was once a symbol of cutting-edge progress now feels like a brand caught in repetition. And yet, here we are again. With less than a month to go, Apple is preparing to announce the new iPhone 17 lineup. On paper, it sounds exciting, but according to leaks, one of the flagship models, the iPhone 17 Air, will focus on being incredibly thin, measuring just 0.22 inches. Sure, that sounds sleek and futuristic, but there's a catch. Apple had to reduce the battery capacity just to achieve that slim profile. In other words, despite all the marketing about beauty and thinness, the battery life could actually end up being worse than last year's iPhone 16. This trade-off doesn't exactly sound like innovation. It sounds more like a company chasing headlines for thinness rather than solving the real problems users care about. Elon Musk, never one to hold back his opinions, has taken countless shots at Apple over the years. He's joked that he can barely tell the difference between one iPhone and the next. He's even quipped that Apple's design team must be the most relaxed department in the whole company, because very little seems to change. And Musk isn't the only one who feels this way. Millions of users and even loyal Apple fans have admitted that buying a new iPhone doesn't feel as exciting anymore, because the upgrades are so minor they're hard to notice. Adding fuel to the fire, Apple has recently been hit with a lawsuit over allegations of favoritism toward OpenAI, something Musk has been extremely vocal about. Frustrated by Apple's direction, he's decided to do something bold. Move up the timeline of a project he never intended to release so soon. That project is none other than the Tesla Pi Phone, and according to reports, it's now set to launch early next year. Originally, Musk had no real interest in entering the smartphone market. He publicly stated that Apple and Android manufacturers like Samsung and Xiaomi were already doing a fine job. The plan was to keep Tesla's focus on electric vehicles, batteries, and space exploration. If a Tesla phone ever existed, it was penciled in for somewhere between 2028 and 2030. But Apple's decline, its lack of creativity, its increasingly restrictive policies, and what Musk calls anti-competitive practices have pushed him to act much earlier. The Tesla Pi Phone is shaping up to be the polar opposite of today's smartphones. Where Apple focuses on looks and marketing, Tesla is focusing on function, durability, and real performance. And here's the surprising part. The Pi Phone isn't just being built for tech-savvy younger generations. Musk's team has embraced a universal design approach, meaning this is a phone created for everyone, from a 65-year-old retiree to a college freshman. Unlike Apple, which increasingly tailors its flashy designs to youth culture, Tesla wants a phone that can serve as a long-lasting, reliable tool for all age groups, free from gimmicks and unnecessary complications. Let's talk size. Based on leaked specs, the Tesla Pi Phone will measure 5.73 inches tall, 2.76 inches wide, and just 0.28 inches thin, with a weight of about 6.09 ounces. For comparison, Apple's iPhone 17 Air will come in slightly taller, at 6.42 inches, wider at 3.06 inches, and thinner at 0.22 inches, weighing 5.15 ounces. The differences aren't massive, and in your hand, both devices will feel fairly similar, neither too big nor too small. But the key distinction is what Apple had to sacrifice for that record-breaking thinness. By shaving off 0.06 inches and dropping nearly an ounce, the iPhone 17 Air compromised both battery life and durability. And really, who wants a thinner phone if it dies sooner and breaks easier? Tesla understood this trade-off and refused to go down the same path. In fact, Musk personally intervened in the materials used for the Pi Phone. Early prototypes used stainless steel, but Musk demanded a switch to a high-grade titanium alloy. Not just any titanium, but grade 6 titanium. The the same material SpaceX often uses to build spacecraft. This change might sound minor, but it's a huge leap forward. Titanium is prized in engineering for being both strong and lightweight. Compared to steel, it's about 45% lighter. Compared to aluminum, it's about twice as strong. It's also non-magnetic, which enhances wireless charging efficiency. While Apple only recently moved to grade 5 titanium for its iPhone Pro models, Tesla is pushing one step further with grade 6. That means exceptional strength, corrosion resistance, and durability. What does this mean in real life? If you drop an iPhone from 6 feet onto concrete, there's a good chance you'll see some serious damage. Cracked glass, bent frames, the usual nightmare. But the Tesla Pi Phone, according to early claims, could survive an 11-foot drop with nothing more than a few surface scratches. It's not just a phone. It's practically built like aerospace equipment. Now, Musk knows that not everyone cares about flashy looks, and that's why the Tesla Pi Phone doesn't try to copy Apple's aesthetic. It doesn't chase trends like ultra-thin bezels or flashy colors. Instead, it prioritizes resilience. The design features solid lines, rounded edges for comfort, and reinforced construction that makes it ideal for real-world use. Even more impressive is a feature called the Smart Grip Sensor. Built into the slim frame, this sensor can detect if the phone is slipping from your hand. If it senses you don't have a secure grip, it vibrates to warn you before you drop it. For older users, or for anyone who's clumsy with their phone, this is a small but game-changing feature. Apple's iPhone 17 Air, despite all its marketing, doesn't even come close to offering something like this. And durability doesn't stop at drops. Remember when Apple made a big deal about water resistance starting with the iPhone 7? Back then, IP67 meant your phone could survive a few splashes, or maybe a short dunk in water. Apple later upgraded to IP68, allowing newer iPhones to last around 20 minutes underwater at shallow depths. Not bad, but Tesla has gone a step further. The Pi Phone will feature IP69 certification, which doesn't just mean dust protection or splash resistance. It means the phone can handle high-pressure, high-temperature water jets from any direction. Imagine using it in a steam room or blasting it accidentally with a car wash hose. It'll survive without issue. That's not just a marketing number. It's real protection for real conditions.